Okay, I'm Elvina Endang. I will explain about the cultural dimension of Hong Kong according to Hofstede's opinion. There are 6 points that I will explain, including power distance, individualism, masculinity, uncertainty of evidence, long-term orientation, and pleasure. Okay, the first, I will explain about power distance. At 68, Hong Kong has a high score on PDI, a society that believes that inequalities amongst people are acceptable. The subordinate-superior relationship tends to be polarized, and there is no defense against power abused by superiors. Individualists are influenced by formal authority and sanctions and are in general optimistic about people's capacity for leadership and initiative. For example, in Indonesia, there is an inequality of power between leaders and followers. The outcome between the rich and the poor is considered a natural thing. This culture can hinder the social spirit of entrepreneurship and prioritizes the principles of empowerment and equal partnerships in social, economic, and political aspects of life. The second, I will explain about individualism. At the core of 25, Hong Kong is a collectivist culture where people act in the interest of the group and not necessarily of themselves. In group considerations affect hiring and promotions with closer in groups, or such as family, are getting preferential treatment, whereas relationships with colleagues and cooperative in groups they are cold or even hostile to outgroups. Personal relationships prevail over tasks and company. Communication is indirect and the harmony of the group has to be maintained. Open conflicts are avoided. For example, Indonesian children are committed to their parents just as parents are committed to them throughout their growing lives. Their wish is to make their parents' lives easier. There is a desire to care for the elderly or provide them with support in their old age. This family loyalty can also be seen from the fact that Indonesian families tend to take care of older people such as grandparents at home rather than sending them to any institution. In individualist societies, the focus is on the nuclear family only. Okay, the third, I will explain about masculinity. At 57, Hong Kong is a somewhat masculine society, success-oriented and driven. The need to ensure success can be exemplified by the fact that many will spend many hours at work. Service people hours such as hairdressers will provide services until very late at night. Another example is that students care very much about their exam scores and ranking, as this is the main criteria to achieve success or not. For example, in Indonesia, status and visible symbols of success are important but not always material gain that brings motivation. Often the position a person holds is more important to them because of the Indonesia concept called prestige, which loosely translates to outward appearance. It is important that prestige is maintained firmly so as to project a distinct outward appearance that aims to impress and create an aura of status. The next slide about uncertainty of evidence. At 29, Hong Kong has a very low score and uncertainty of evidence. Adherence the laws and rules may be flexible to set the actual situation, and pragmatism is a fact of life. The people in Hong Kong are comfortable with ambiguity. The Chinese language is full of ambiguous meanings that can be difficult for Western people to follow. They are adaptable and entrepreneurial. For example, Indonesian people generally do not like risk and tend to avoid problems or conflict. In some cases, Indonesians choose to remain silent even though they are aware that they are being treated unfairly. This attitude is generally done in order to avoid conflict and maintain a harmonious relationship. The next slide, I will explain about long-term orientation. The high score of 61 shows the Hong Kong's culture is definitely pragmatic. In societies with a pragmatic orientation, people believe that truth depends very much on situation, context, and time. They show an ability to adapt tradition easily to change conditions, a strong propensity to save and influence, thriftiness, and preference in achieving results. For example, Indonesia has a pragmatic culture in the form of longing for guaranteed living conditions in the long term. This may explain the attitude of most parents who prefer their children to become civil servants or permanent employees in large companies rather than becoming entrepreneurs because the business is not guaranteed to survive in the long term. Okay, the last slide about indoor games. Hong Kong's score on this dimension is very low at 17. This indicates that it is more restrained. Societies with a low score in this dimension have a tendency to cynicism and pessimism. Also, in contrast to indoor game societies, restrained societies do not put much emphasis on leisure time and control the gratification of their desires. People with this orientation have the perception that their actions are restrained by social norms and feel that indulging themselves is somewhat wrong. For example, Indonesian society places less emphasis on leisure time and controlling the gratification of their desires. People with this orientation have the perception that their actions are constrained by social norms and feel that self-indulgence is somewhat wrong. Okay, that's all my presentation and thank you.